Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from SpeechModification.com. I'm making this video to give you a sneak preview of our upcoming 6-week class. I'll be hosting my group class online for anyone to join from anywhere around the world. Normally, I host these classes here in Bellevue, Washington, and we meet in person and we work together. And now that's not possible, so I'm moving to an online format. Many of you know me from my YouTube videos, from my website, speechmodification.com, as well as from Facebook, where I teach a lot of live classes. And what I wanted to show you is how this group class will be different from my live classes. So on YouTube and on Facebook, I give classes where I'm talking about topics for American accent training and American English pronunciation. And each time I give one of those classes, I'm talking about a specific topic, as well as often taking your questions in the comments and in the chat. But they're not really interactive classes in that I can't see you, I can't hear your speech, and I can't give you feedback on how you sound. So I'm excited to bring this new format to you where you can join the class in Google Meets, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that in today's video. You'll be joining in and I can see you and hear you. Now, of course, you can choose to share your microphone and share your video, or you can come to class and just listen. But for most people coming to the group class, they really like to have the feedback and hear about their speech. Our class will start in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, which will be on May the 5th. Classes will be on Tuesday mornings at 10:30 Seattle time, so West Coast time, US, 10:30 a.m. That means 1:30 p.m. East Coast time, US, and of course, various times around the world. If you have a question about joining or the times, you can check out information on my website, speechmodification.com, and I'll be sure to have the links for that together with this video so you can check that out. You can also contact me. My email is christine@speechmodification.com, or leave a comment on one of my videos or one of my Facebook posts if you want more information. So you'll join the class via Google Meets. You see that format here in this video. And we'll come together for 6 weeks, once a week. And the classes are 45 minutes long. In each class, we'll look at different topics for pronunciation and intonation. And I hope by the end of 6 weeks, you'll have a really strong foundation in learning about accent error patterns and how to correct them. Each week we'll practice, we'll work in class, and I'll give you practice materials and homework that you can do outside of class to improve and to continue to build skills. And in order to do that, you will have access to my online course as a textbook and also as a practice tool that comes together with the 6-week class. So I'm going to show you that now so you can get a sneak preview of some of the topics we'll be covering in class and what it will look like when I'm teaching in this format using the Google Meets. So first of all, I'm going to share my screen so you'll see my video and it'll switch to seeing my computer screen. This is something I do in the class quite a bit so that I can share resources and materials with you, and so that you are able to, when you're taking the class, take full advantage of the online course materials that you get as part of the class. Not only will you have those materials during the 6 weeks of the group class, but you'll have them for 6 months after so that you can keep working and practicing what you've learned in the 6-week class. So let's take a look at how what you'll see in the class. So first of all, I just want to show you how you'll join. So I will be sending you a link, a calendar invitation, and it's as simple as clicking the link. It opens in your browser. You click some information to allow it to share the camera and the microphone so I can see you and hear you, and then you're a part of class. And it will look like this when you get into class. You'll see my video and you'll see the things that I'm sharing on the screen. So now what I want to show you is what comes with the class is my 6-week course, my online course. And this is something where in our 6 weeks of group live classes, we can't cover every detail. That's a limited amount of time. So I'll be showing you additional lessons and supplemental information that you can use in the 6-week course. So let's go into the course and see some of the topics. It's organized week by week, but each time I have a 6-week class, I make sure to tune in and check in with who comes to the class, and we focus what we work on that group's needs. So often it's things like American R, it's the vowel sounds, it's learning about intonation, and all of those are covered in the 6-week course. But I also will sometimes have a class that has many people from India or many people from Russia. It doesn't matter what your native language is. I'll make sure that the class covers your needs. So one of the first things we do in the introduction in the first week is we look at what makes an accent, and we look at the accent patterns for your native language. And so included in the class are overviews of accent for every native language. So you'll see here, this is a general idea. Part of what is helpful to learn about is what are the accent error patterns I have and what kinds of differences do I have in my speech versus in English for native speakers. And you'll see that your language will be included here in the introduction. And then we'll launch right into looking at pronunciation. And in the online course, there are videos that go along with what I'm teaching, as well as word lists, downloadable materials. And so, for example, we'll work on the Z sound at the ends of words because it's a pattern that affects many, many languages. And it has effects for grammar. So when I have an error at the ends of words on a Z sound, it might be difficult for someone to tell if I'm saying the word move or the word moves, for example, or if I'm saying a plural of words. And so I'll teach you about the ways the pronunciation affects grammar as well. And for your practice, you can download these MP3 files for listening and practicing. You can also go through the lessons, and there are recordings and practice materials and word lists to help you there as well. In addition, you'll find that there are quizzes which you may find useful for testing your knowledge. So this quiz is looking at the S versus the Z sound. This quiz is looking at written words and spelling. And you can see there are many different quizzes and information depending on the topic. We'll also be looking at intonation, which I'll look at. Let's look at week 2 here. And intonation, sorry, I'm stuck in week 1. So we'll look at week 2. Intonation is something where we'll look at general rules for intonation. We'll also talk about things like small talk and give you specific practice to do for intonation as well. And you have some help and knowledge for understanding the basics of intonation, how to integrate practice with pronunciation and intonation, and again, interactive activities and quizzes. These are all part of the online course that we're looking at now. And we'll be practicing together in class with me talking and you imitating and me listening to your speech and giving you help and feedback and helping you with understanding what's different about what you're doing versus what you want to be doing for the American accent. Again, there are MP3s that you can download. And not only do we have new topics each week, but we have here in the in between, we have topics for generalization. So that is how to take those skills you learn in class and move them into your real life speaking tasks. So you don't want to just be able to imitate me or be able to do this when you come to class. You want to go in your professional tasks, in your social life, and begin to use and implement these changes that you're working on for your speech. So we'll look at resources and materials to keep track of your practice, how we build skills over time, and how we generalize skills, as well as many, many additional resources for you. You can see in week 3, we start to look at the vowel sounds, and we learn the system for understanding the vowels, as well as focusing in on specific vowels. So for example, this is a lesson about the vowel I, and it helps you learn about the differences between words like live and leave, and what accent error patterns you might have for those sounds. So here's the lesson for vowel E that's in words like leave, and we have the vowel lesson for vowel I. We also will be looking at American R, the TH sound, American T. Many times people will ask me about how to pronounce words like water or little. Why is the T sound different in the middle of words than it is at the beginning and the ends of words? So it's a combination of more basic fundamental pronunciation as well as a lot of the elements that will help you really sound American. Uh, in some of our next level skills, we'll be looking at real talk, which is how um, written speech differs from spoken English. So we'll talk about common things that Americans say where, like in the word water, we don't say water, we say water. Similarly, I don't say I ate out this weekend. I say it more like I ate out this weekend, or the meetings in our office. So we look at how to listen for and connect words and reduce sounds to have that fluent American sound, and where spelling and written words might be confusing because they're actually different from spoken words. So as part of the class, you'll also have access to many resources and materials for business and tech vocabulary and words, practice, and a good understanding of all of the different sounds of English, the most frequently used words. Our courses, our classes, the group class, and the online materials are based on common functional words, the words and phrases that we use the most. Even if you have a really big vocabulary, a lot of specialized words, the bulk of what we're saying, about 80% of our speech, is made up of about these 1,200 most frequently used words. So we'll look again in the course at all of this different information. And I just wanted to show you so you could get a quick look into the online materials, as well as getting used to how it might be to attend class, to see me, to be part of the group. I really hope that some of you who've been coming to the YouTube live classes, using my free resources and materials, or even who have been going through the online courses, you might be ready now to get a little bit more help and feedback and to work specifically on how do I take the next step to improve my speech, to improve my accent. So this video was simply to give you an overview, give you some idea about how class will look, to introduce you to my teaching style and the methodology for the group class. Again, the details for that are on speechmodification.com. You can click on the group class and see the pricing. Right now it's on sale. I'm giving you $50 off the full price for early registration, so check that out. If you have questions or concerns, not sure if this is going to be the right kind of class for you, just contact me and we'll talk about checking that out, and so that you can get your questions answered. You can learn if this might work for you in terms of your schedule, what the time commitment is, and how to really take advantage of this opportunity. I'm so excited because there are so many people who've been wanting to come to my group classes who don't live here in the Seattle area, or who do live here in the Seattle area, but it hasn't been possible for them due to timing, etc. Right now, it's a great time. Many people are working from home, staying at home. You have maybe a little bit more flexibility in your schedule, and it's really a good time to find things to do for self-improvement. We're all struggling right now with a lot that's going on in the world, and there's not a lot of things that we can control. And so having some things to work on for personal growth, for improving our interactions, communication is key. It's always extremely important for our social lives, for our professional lives, but I think even more so now. One of the aspects that I've been working on in my one-to-one training with people recently is how to take advantage of the fact that we are communicating via video chats, via the phone, and how to not have that be a problem for their communication, but rather a way to self-monitor and to improve. So we'll probably include that in this group class as well. My group classes, just like my live classes, are always tailored to your specific needs. So think about what it is that you would like to get out of the class, bring that to me, and I will tailor the class to help you with that. So I hope this video gave you a good idea about what's coming up in the 6-week class. Again, that'll be starting on May the 5th, Tuesday mornings, 10:30 Seattle time. Please let me know if you have questions, and I really hope that I will see many of you in 2 weeks in our first online 6-week group class. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound American, you can do it. speechmodification.com. See you soon, everybody.